was going to take a shower, but I didn't. I ran out of time. I did laundry. And then I left the house around noon.
To go to the liquor store and the stuff for the party?
Yeah.
Which road you said?
I went down Trescott.
Okay.
I saw a police car there, and I just thought it was blocked, so I just turned around and drove to, I went down the rest of Centerville, went up Benton, took Benton across, went to ABC Liquors, bought the bourbon.
I'm a little confused. You're up on Centerville Road. What's your purpose of driving down Trescott?
It's usually the shortcut to get to Monroe.
To get to Monroe?
I usually take it as a cut through to get to Thomasville or Monroe.
Okay. All right. So you're at your house with the repairman. He leaves. You go back to working on your papers. And then you leave your house around noon, drive down, Trescott's blocked, you turn around, you go back around on Benton, and then you go to
There's a tree.
Right. Pardon?
I thought it was like a tree that fell down or something.
Right. So...
I didn't even think, like, that's the house. I was driving up the street, and I saw, like, the tape, and I just thought, oh, maybe there's, like, an electrical outage or something. Like, I saw the street blocked. I was driving into town. I was running errands, I was meeting some friends for lunch, and I drove up Trescott because it's the shortcut. And so I drive up Trescott and I see the tape and I was like, I guess there was like an electrical outage because sometimes we'd have trees that would fall or whatever. And so I turned around and didn't think anything of it. I was at lunch with a few friends and the officer shows up.
What route could she have taken to one of those 3 liquor stores?
Of many, one of the routes is the one depicted here by the red line, which would have taken her up Centerville Road and then over to Thomasville and down to Mosaic.
What time would she have been in the area of Trescott Drive when she's on her way from home to ABC?
Well, again, I would say sometime between 12:35 and 12:47, or 12:49 for sure at the absolute, because she would have been in the store at that point for the transaction.
And did you make any stops between leaving your residence and going to the liquor store?
Maybe I purchased gas?
I don't know if you did or not, but I'm referring to your visit to the crime scene.
I did not visit the crime scene.
Okay. You did not pull up to the crime scene tape on Trescott Drive?
No. I was driving on Centerville Road, and sometimes I would take the shortcut through Trescott.
Yes, ma'am.
But when I was driving on Centerville Road, I saw some sort of tape or obstruction, and so I didn't turn.
Okay. On the way to run your errands, did you go by the crime scene?
No.
On the way to run your errands, did you encounter a roadblock on Trescott?
I did.
All right, so you did turn off of Centerville onto Trescott.
I did.
I was running errands, I was meeting some friends for lunch, and I drove up Trescott because it's the shortcut.
You did not pull up to the crime scene tape on Trescott Drive?
No.
All right, and when you encountered a roadblock, what did you assume the problem was there?
I figured it was just an electrical storm or something. There was some tape, and it looked like the road was blocked off, and so I just turned around and went back and went up Benton.
And had there been an electrical storm that morning?
I didn't remember an electrical storm, but in the summertime there's always trees falling and rainstorms, so.
Did you go to the crime scene or very near the crime scene on your way from your residence to, I guess, to lunch or to wherever you were going next?
No, I did not.
So you never turned on Trescott Drive that day?
I went to turn on Trescott Drive, but I saw that it had been blocked off by some tape, and so I just kept driving on Centerville.
I was running errands, I was meeting some friends for lunch, and I drove up Trescott because it's the shortcut.
You did not pull up to the crime scene tape on Trescott Drive?
No.
On the way to run your errands, did you go by the crime scene?
No.
On the way to run your errands, did you encounter a roadblock on Trescott?
I did.
All right, so you did turn off of Centerville onto Trescott.
I did.
Okay, and when you had to turn around at the tape, right, to go back out?
I think I tried to turn right and it couldn't turn, so I would have made like the kind of turn, like a K-turn, and kept going.
Was there a roadblock there with,
There was tape.
yeah, and an officer was there?
I didn't see an officer, but I did see a car.
A law enforcement marked vehicle? Okay, did you have any contact with the officer?
No.
All right, so can you explain for the jury where the roadblock was that you were positioned at the crime scene?
So that blue dot right there is the victim's residence. I would have been somewhere right in that area.
All right, so you noticed this vehicle or a vehicle identical to this one approach your position?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did the vehicle do when it approached your position?
Just stopped pretty quick and turned around and headed back in the other direction.
Did you do anything after that to try to find out what was going on down that roadway?
No, I just assumed it was weather or maybe a tree fell.